Right, well, we're back with some action yet again, and I am playing an American guy, Llama Lord. That is definitely America, the flag, and we're going to try to give this Raptor, a bit more action. Do you like my Raptor hook there again? I'm perfecting that, aren't I, my Raptor hook? And now he plays G6, so this is not a line I know particularly well, should I say, at all. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do here against this. I'm just going to play knight to c3, and my idea was, given a chance, I was going to go e4, and then this is more like a perk now. So we've entered into basically a perk position where I want to swap off dark square bishops. My opponent is going to stop that, and now I guess I'm going to try to castle queenside and play something quite aggressive. Now, one thing I've got to remember to do is not lose on time for the millionth, hundredth, billionth time that I just can't do it again. So I'm going to try to move quickly in this one and just avoid losing on time. Now, you may have heard of the monkey's bum opening. This is not quite the monkey's bum, but it is a very aggressive setup I'm playing here. So I want to really play f4 rather than knight to f3 if I can. Now, could I also go e5? e5 is quite interesting. So I'm just wondering where I put my knight. If I put it on e2, he goes b5. If I have a look at this game afterwards, of course. What do I do? What do I do? What to do with a drunken sailor? Now, maybe I should have put my bishop on d3 so early. That's a good move, c5. Getting good counterplay. Okay, well, let's just play a sensible knight to f3. Just developing a piece, controlling the centre, and I'm still preparing to potentially go e5 at some point. So this looks all right. Can't be bad. Okay, well, let's go e5. For better or worse, I want to go e5. Whoa, what the hell is that? Okay, right-yo. I didn't even look at that, of course. So if I take here, he takes there. If I take on g7, he takes here. Can I get away with any of that craziness? You can see I always look for the most ridiculous solution in the position, of course, rather than just going for something simple. That's quite an easy, quite a simple move that I should have spotted his last one. And I said I'm not going to lose on time. Well, I'm moving very slowly here. Okay, well, let's have a think about this one then. Well, I don't want to lose my queen, do I? That is clear. That's a good move my opponent just played. And what do I do? Okay, well, I'm going to have to move my knight, aren't I feel. I'm going to have to move my knight or take the pawn. Okay, well, let's take the pawn. I've still got some open lines in the centre towards his king, so it might not be so bad. I don't know if that was the best move to play. Yeah, he's played this quite well. You know, he's played this this position nicely. In the perk, this is what you call a hyper modern opening. Nimzovich came up with this term, and it's one of those openings where you attack the centre from the side. So this fianchetto, you call it on g7, attacks my centre from the side. So this is his general idea of this opening, the perk. It's a bit like the King's Indian or something else like that. So makes some sense. Okay, well, I'm just going to try to play something with f5 here, something like that maybe, and try to drum up some counterplay. Again, I've got to be a little bit careful about my time. So at least this way, I now have the h4 push. I'm not worried about pawns. When you cast on opposite sides, you can't worry about pawns. I'm just gonna keep rolling, and I'm just gonna keep them coming at him now. So, okay, now I've got this open h file. Now, do I need to defend that, or can I just get on with it? Can I get on with the job in hand, governor? Okay, I'll keep my piece because we've got to have a little bit of respect for our pieces when we play chess. And now I want to do him on the h file, don't I? Okay, well, let's just squeeze my queen around to the king side. That is maybe one of my plans here, to slowly move this guy in. And I'm thinking if knight to e4, which he probably has to play. Now let's double up on the h file. see if I can get some major attack going. And you see, my knight on d4 is very nice because it defends my c2 pawn. And now if my rook gets over to h1, it's suddenly looking a bit of double action on that h file, double banging going on the h file. That is like a double cannon ready to release double bags, double balls, double bags. You know what I mean. If I can get the rook over, if I get the queen over, well, that's the monstre. That is going to be a bit of threesome h file action there with these pieces lined up, and that's what I'm aiming to do. I want to really get my queen to h3 and rook to h8. I think that would be a nice way to get the attack going. But do I have any threats here? I'm not sure. It certainly looks very dangerous for him, though, doesn't it? Well, okay. Now it's time to just to try to kill now, I think. Now, how do we do this? How do we go about this? Quite a complicated position. Bishop takes here, queen h3. Well, I mean, that's so tempting. Oh, so tempting. All right, let's go for it. Let's just see. This is just to try to get my queen over to the h file. This could be quite nice. If he goes bishop, do I have rook h8 check? Do I have rook h8 check and then queen to? Oh my words! That could be stunning if it works. Well, I don't know. Does it work? Does it work? The idea is to go for this move. I'm giving up all my pieces, and I just want to bang my queen onto h7 or h8. What bang? That looks. Can he stop mate now? Can he stop mate? I can't see how he's going to stop mate. That is actually, that's looking pretty juicy. I have to say so. Looking quite nice. Oh yeah, we like that one. We like it. We like that one, son. We like it. That was nice. That was all right. So yeah, I'm just going to tell the guy that I'm actually making a video. So just I hope he doesn't mind. Not everyone likes making video. Okay, I'm just going to tell him that. Hope that's okay. Up on YouTube. I mean, that deserves a little bit of a video. Okay, right. Well, let's have a look at that. That was definitely worth analysing, wasn't it? I mean, who knows what was happening there? Looked like fun, certainly. So okay, so we had this kind of Trompowsky, and I was hoping for a bit of raptor action. Do you like that? Do you like what I did there? That was nice, wasn't it? My raptor, my crazy raptor. And the point is, if he goes knight to e4, we now go raptor style with h4. So that was my idea behind that. But okay, he played this g6 move, which I don't know, I haven't faced before. So I thought, well, let's just go knight c3. And now if he stops e4 with d5, then I was going to go queen to d2 here. And this is what a friend of mine, good friend Mark Hedman, would call a Barry attack. Billy Borrow Barry is a better word, but no, I don't know. Let's say Barry. And instead, bishop g7 played, and now we got this very interesting perk, and I think my opponent played it very well, because this is what Tiger's Modern. This is a Tiger's Modern perk with b5 planned here, and c5. It's named a Tiger's Modern, named after a chess player called Tiger Hillett Person. What a brilliant name to be called, Tiger Williams. Well, it kind of reminds me of the golf player, which, I'm not too keen on that cheating piece of scum. But anyway, sorry. He's a great golfer. Sorry, that's a bit harsh. But I don't know, Tiger's a great name. And Tiger Modern had this great book on this opening called Tiger's Modern, believe it or not. What a brilliant name. And my opponent played this really well. He struck out after castling with c5. And this is what you do in these positions where I've got two pawns in the centre. It's called the hyper-modern way of playing. Traditional way of playing chess was to control the centre, take control of the centre with the pawns. But this way my opponents played, by attacking the centre from the side, is called a hyper-modern way of playing. It's like a more modern way of playing, attacking it from the angles. And now, well, my opponent keeps pushing on the queen side. e5 had the idea now, if my opponent wasn't careful, if he played something like knight to h5, then I had this like, you know, hook in the middle there, e6, you know, like a can. You know, I'm trying to can his position open, cutting it open in the middle. And if he takes there, then g6 drops, so he can't play this clearly. So my opponent, when you play these type of openings of black, you have to play super aggressively, and you have to, as soon as you start playing negatively, your opponent takes over initiative. My opponent now took on d4. This is a very good move, and the thing is, if I take on f6, he takes on c3. I wanted to take on g7, but now he takes on d2 with check. And I mean, I was even considering rook takes d2, rook g8 here, and seeing if I could sack my queen, but I've only got one piece for it, so it's clearly a load of rubbish. So we can't do that rubbish idea there. So I have to really play knight takes d4, and now my opponent should definitely be better here. The only hope I've got is to get a quick attack going, which I aim to do with the help of Freddy the f-pawn. We all love Freddy the f-pawn, and Freddy the f-pawn is getting ready to place himself upon Freddy 5 there, Freddy 5. So this is my idea, and I'm sure my opponent's doing well here, but it's quite a tricky position for him to play. I definitely have compensation, and we can see he tries to keep the king side closed with g5, but whenever your opponent has moved his pawns forwards, I call these pawns around your king, you know, the f, g and h pawns, your bodyguards, and you know, your king is like the piece that everyone's trying to assassinate, and you need, like in life, if you're a risk of assassination, you need to keep your bodyguards close. And as soon as your bodyguards start moving forwards too much, it exposes your king. And that is one case here. The king is now a little bit exposed, and I can try to, again, get my can opener here and just try to expose his king a little bit. And that's precisely what I try to do with my next moves. h4, opening up the bodyguards, opening up some lines, and mainly this h-file is now open up, and this is very dangerous. Obviously, if you have a king near here and your h-file's open, it's very, very dangerous. And my knight on d4 does a very good job of defending, and in some cases it can hop into e6 if my opponent ever plays f6. So I have a very nice attacking position here. The queen slides across, he has to defend g5, and now I just try to double, you know, get the double power going, and then the triple power, the threesome on the h-file there with my heavy pieces. Just try to get, if you can get all your pieces lined up on open file, then that's obviously a good thing to do. My opponent's counterplay comes a little bit slow, and after e5 I had this very nice finish here, which I have to admit I didn't see straight away, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you know what patterns you should be looking for, then things fall into place. And with bishop takes e5, the idea is to just play with tempo, get my rooking, get the threesome on the h-file, the free power, the free major pieces, and just to get to his king as quickly as possible. Now, if I'd have played queen to h3 here, my opponent may have been able to defend with f6. This is the move I was a little bit concerned about. Even here, I've got a probably winning attack with something like knight to e6 now, because all my pieces are getting ready for the final kill. But it's not as strong as the immediate rook to h8 check when he only has one move, and now my queen comes over with tempo. And whatever my opponent does here, he can't stop either queen to h7 mate or queen to h8 checkmate. So that obviously worked out quite well for me there. And I probably should give my opponent a rematch now if he's still about. I feel quite sorry for these guys doing a video playing one game and then not giving them a chance for some revenge. So I will try to give him another game there. But anyway, that seemed to work well there, and I didn't lose on time for a change. Woohoo!